cost. Oh, I got him! Yeah, you did! Hey, everybody, here we're lifting off. This is Phileas Rory, and my buddy here on the right is Putrid XX Cadaver. Go show him some love. Hit up his friend request. Send him friend requests. That would be fantastic because I think it would be hilarious. So go do that. We are here with Gray Zone Warfare. I am so excited for this game. You can see on a chopper, your FPS does drop a little bit. We did find out if you look up at the sky, it skyrockets, which is hilarious. We got a buddy with a 2080 Super and a little bit of an older rig, and he was having a heck of a time with performance, much like anybody else on some of that older equipment was, when it launched. He did throw on FSR, and it improved it. I mean, I think he was getting like 20 to 30 frames per second in some of the heat of the battle. Throwing on FSR, bumped it up to 90. I've seen a lot of talk on Twitter about, the frame generation software causes input lag. I haven't noticed any of that. So I would really, I don't know, I'd like to see some of that. And I know there's videos out there that say it. I'm just not seeing it on my end. So I've got DLSS on. I will be open about that. I'm running on high settings. I've got a 4080 Super, 32 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM, and an AMD Ryzen 9 5900X. I did go buy a 4080 Super when I found out this game was going to be releasing soon. So, in fact, I bought the 4080 Super on launch day. I was fortunate enough to be able to do that, and I know not everybody can. In fact, I had to buy a new power supply and case just to fit the 4080 Super in and power it. So I had a little bit of older components in my computer as well. Even my CPU is getting up there in age, 4th gen chip in that Ryzen series. My buddy's got a 10900X 4080 Super as well. And that Intel i9 10900X, I think it is. And 32 gigabytes of RAM, comparable rigs. And we're not really having any issues. Some pretty consistent FPS, if you will. Both put in about 14 hours into the game. It's fantastic. I'm loving it. There's a lot to do. There's a lot of interactions with people. And we're Crimson Faction. So go Crimson Shield International. All you others can suck it. We are going to liberate Lamang, so hang on in there. But yeah, we're having a good time. The missions are great. You get to explore quite a bit. We're running into a lot of people. I think the peak concurrent player count on GZW right now is like 68,000, I think. They sold over 400,000 copies in 2 days. So it's been impressive, despite the mixed reviews, which is all coming from performance. And I wanted to talk about the performance a little bit. And I know I was fortunate enough to be able to go out and spend that money that I did. And not everybody can do that. And you are limited to your rigs and stuff, right? So I get that. But unfortunately, that's the damage of PC gaming, because that tech is always changing, and it's going pretty quick. So even a 5-year-old card, you could say, is outdated. They're always coming out with more. I mean, I don't even have a 4090. There's a lot of people running 4090s, and I couldn't do the 4090, but I could justify the 4080 Super. And so that's what I did. And I do sympathize with people that are on kind of the older stuff and they can't play it, and they're frustrated, especially with seeing that the minimum requirements show, I think, a 1080 Ti or something like that. Unfortunately, it's early access, and I know people are saying, "Oh, you're just falling back on that early access cop out." I don't think it's a cop out. you know, that's the test that they did. They thought that would be, um, that it would work. And I've got a friend that's got a 2080 Super, and he was getting 20, 30 frames per second. He put on FSR, it went up to 90. And I think you just got to do that right now, and hopefully it gets optimized a little bit more. Um, if you need the money back, refund it. But I would say hold on to it and just wait out this ride. I think the devs have two hot fixes out already. They're working night and day. They're constantly communicating on Twitter, in Discord. They want the input. And so I think if you're going to give input, make it constructive. Don't don't just bash them and say that they're trying to scam. And I know there's been a lot out there. The Day Before is a great example. I've seen people throwing that title around for this game, and this is not it. This is not The Day Before. This is, honestly, if I paid $35 for this game and it didn't change, I'd be okay with that. I've paid a lot more for a lot less. And I think they've done a great job. But back to performance on older equipment. um, I think, again, I'm fortunate enough I was able to go upgrade. Not everybody can do that, like I've said. And take a look at consoles. They're around, 8 years, and then they change, and people go and they spend $500-$600 for a new console, and they're good for 8 years. Um, but that's the thing is you look at those and you look at PC games, and they are generally better looking. They run a little bit better, higher performance rates because they can. Not everybody can do that. Some of them are still running console settings on that kind of stuff. So I just think that with PC, you have to remember that you're not going to be able to run everything, especially if it's absolutely brand new. Um, and you've got a 5-year-old card. Look into it, and just know that you might be limited. And I think what Madfinger Games is trying to do with this is take that leap into that next generation, where in 20 years you're probably still going to be able to play it on a 4080 Super and 4090, but maybe we're going to be in the 7090 series at that point, and everybody with the 4080 Supers and the 4090s are going to say, this is junk. I should be able to play this. Look what it played back in the day. So that's just my kind of take on that, and take it as you will. But again, there's people have been saying there's input lag with those frame generation things. I haven't seen it, so I don't know. I know there's videos out there, and they say that there is input lag. Again, I haven't seen it, so I don't know what that is. However, I would like to talk about the game and maybe some things that I would like to see implemented. And the biggest one out there, I think, right now is key binding for push to talk. It is Z right now, or Z for you across the pond. It's kind of annoying, I always I take my thumb off, hit it, and I'm talking. I haven't had any troubles with the 15-second counter. You talk for 15 seconds, you let off, and it counts back up. There's a little bit of a cooldown. I haven't had any issues necessarily. However, Z is kind of annoying. I like to have it on my side buttons on my mouse. And I don't know. I think a lot of people are that way, getting a little picky. But let us, let us give it a shot. Let us put it where we want it to be, and I think everybody would be happy. Another thing I would like is to be able to trade with my squad. I just think that would be good. Instead of dropping it on the ground or trade with people, somebody was looking for the restaurant attic key. And I said, I was doing a different mission. I think it was before what you see on the screen now. But I said, I'll just give you the key. I've got an extra one back at the base or whatever. And so I tossed it on the ground and it bounced and disappeared. We couldn't find it. And so the poor guy went and, had to do it the old fashioned way and search some bodies. And I think just trading would be nice, whether it's with squad mates or just random faction members. I think that would be important. Uh, especially if, hey, I'm out of bandages, could you just give me one? That way, they don't have to necessarily fix the thing being thrown on the ground and then just disappearing into thin air. So I think that would be a great addition. um, I would also like to be able to replay missions with other friends. I've been playing with one guy at the moment, and I have some other friends that are playing, and we just get on a little bit of different times, and we're in different areas. So we're just checking out the pictures and trying to figure out if the bottom left person was a man or a woman. Not really sure. So we're just having a good time with that. But yeah, replay missions. Maybe not get all the XP and the perks like the bags, the guns, and stuff, or the money, but XP, maybe have it or whatever, just so I have a little bit more fun when I do jump in with a friend and they're not on the same missions as me, or they're not on the same as I am, and we can still get a little bit of something out of it other than just shooting the NPCs. Um, Also, so my buddy here, he has been shot a few times now by other Crimson Shield International members, which, hey, it even says in the description, casualties may happen as long as we get the job done, right? But he did just get wiped out last night on here by somebody. And then the guy came over. He didn't see me. The guy ran over to his body and started looting him. So I pull up my gun and I switched it to full auto. And I was fully prepared to defend my buddy's gear, And I said, hey, you better put that back. Don't loot him. He immediately gets out of the inventory. Says, I didn't realize he was a PMC. I put everything back. I don't know. I just think that's kind of give him. He didn't want to shoot back because he didn't know. So if you shoot somebody, kill them with friendly fire, you can be reported, and so many reports will get you banned from the server, and you got to look for another one, right? So we didn't know exactly how many reports it was going to take. So he didn't shoot back. He ended up dying. He just was yelling friendly, 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 and it didn't work out for him. We did get his gear back. The guy left it all there. It was fine. But we think there should be, if you get shot by a friendly, you should absolutely be able to protect yourself and take that friendly out. And whoever instigated the shots, should be reported or, talked to at the very least if, in game, if they don't kill you, but allow you to shoot back without any repercussions. That's kind of like a Fallout 76 thing if you think about it, because you can shoot somebody all you want in Fallout and it doesn't hurt them. They have to actually turn around and shoot you back, and then that instigates the PvP in Fallout, which is kind of a nice system. But yeah, so I would like to see something change in that a little bit. And then my other, this is a big one for me. Let me stack items. If I've got a bandage that has 2 out of 4 slots and another bandage that has 2 out of 4 slots, let me combine them. Please, for the love of God, let me combine them. Or if I have 3 out of 4 and 2 out of 4, let me combine them so I have 4 out of 4 and 1 out of 4. That would just be fantastic. That's a big pet peeve of mine, along with being able to swap places in my locker. I want to be able to, if just because I like to arrange it as here's my ammo, here's my guns, here's my bags. And sometimes when I'm full, I can't do that. And maybe it's a little bit of an OCD thing or something. I don't know. But I get a little irritated when I can't drag this item and put it on this item and it just swaps the places. So I think that would be another change I would like to see. I'm sure there's more. I'm working on very little sleep just because I've been up playing this so much. And when I get done with this video, I'm going to go play some more. I'm going to hop on. I got the day off and I'm going to spend it in Lamang just having a good time. As you see in the video, that guy, I was checking him. He's not dead. Sometimes they just die standing up. I see people, I call it the Christ Air, skateboarding move, Tony Hawk people. You know what we're talking about. So sometimes that catches you off guard. Sometimes you can put a round in them, you'll be fine. Overall, though, this game runs smooth on the right equipment, and most of the time people are pretty helpful. We run into people, we're talking to them, we're joking, we're just having a blast. We've asked a couple of guys for directions, where's this at? They'll take us there. Kind of helps down. We did 2 missions, start of the night and Wednesday night, and it took us maybe a little over an hour to finish the game or finish the missions. We were searching and we didn't know where we were going. I want to say it was construction shop, the construction shop. We couldn't find it. I'm not going to reveal where that's at because I think that's some part of the fun is trying to find it. We did find it on our own. When you see it, you're like, oh, okay. But yeah, just the community's great. It feels so much like an MMO and MMO RPG, if you will. A lot of people are putting on voices and just having a good time. And I see so much potential in this game, and I love it. I love it so much. In fact, I did upgrade to the support edition, and filled up, got my locker bigger. I think it's a 10 by 60, and it's already full one night of play. And I am a hoarder. I keep everything. That's just my MMO background. RPG, Skyrim, thank you, Elder Scrolls, Fallout games. I just collect everything, and I need to stop doing that so I have some space. But overall, glowing review for me. I think it's fantastic. If you're not sure about it, watch the game. If you're running older equipment, maybe wait and just follow their Discord, follow the Gray Zone Warfare Discord, follow the devs, follow on Twitter, any of the social medias that they have, just to be sure and be in the know of when these performance issues are going to be gone. My buddy's in a coma here, which we can talk about this for a second. So you got to examine them, and it tells you kind of what's going on. You got to sit on them. If you move, so you'll see me do the organ injury. If you move during this animation, I think I looked up, it will cancel it, and you've got to do it. Yep, there it goes. It canceled it. So you've got to do it again. You got to examine them and do it again. That might, if I've already examined them, I think that should be retained in my memory. I don't have dementia, so I think we could maybe work on that a little bit too. But yeah, he's in a coma. He's not dead, and does take a little bit. So you want to make sure, you take care of everybody around and don't get killed yourself. But overall, everybody, Crimson Shield International, let's do this. Let's liberate Lamang, shall we? Thanks for watching.